you interesting stories and topics around youth world. As young people, we go through so many challenges, difficulties, and some tough situations that seem to be stumbling block to us achieving our goal. Oh yes, I know it's happening because I am a youth. But hey, in the midst of all those trials and others, we still have that young and vibrant brain that thinks about creativity, innovation, education, and entertainment. And for far too long, you have been looking for that platform to showcase all those things. Oh well, here is the platform that gives you the opportunity to voice out the problems that are affecting you in your society and to showcase your talents and innovative skills. Join the conversation on Youth Arena with Cecilia Alisise every Thursday 5 to 6 p.m. on Freetown Television Network, Channel 35, as I bring you interesting stories and topics around youth world. Good evening and welcome to the program Youth Arena, live on Freetown Television Network, Channel 35, and on Freetown Radio 90.5 FM. As always, Youth Arena is the program that looks into and discusses issues affecting young people in society, ranging from emotional, social, political, and economic problems in society. And we also look for ways to amend problems and propose solutions, and also give young people the arena to showcase their talent and innovative skills. I am your host, Cecilia Alisise. Let's go for a short break and we'll be right back. As young people, we go through so many challenges, difficulties, and some tough situations that seem to be stumbling block to us achieving our goal. Oh yes, I know it's happening because I am a youth. But hey, in the midst of all those trials and others, we still have that young and vibrant brain that thinks about creativity, innovation, education, and entertainment. And for far too long, you have been looking for that platform to showcase all those things. Oh well, here is the platform that gives you the opportunity to voice out the problems that are affecting you in your society and to showcase your talents and innovative skills. Join the conversation on Youth Arena with Cecilia Alisise every Thursday 5 to 6 p.m. on Freetown Television Network, Channel 35, as I bring you interesting stories and topics around youth world. As young people, welcome back. You're watching and listening to Youth Arena on Freetown Television Network, Channel 35, and on Freetown Radio 90.5 FM. In today's program, we are going to be discussing youth in agriculture. There are many pathways to youth engagement in agriculture, and not all of them means engaging in dirty work. And agriculture provides employment, food generation, food security, and many other things. But however, youth in Sierra Leone do not seem to see any future in agriculture. Why is it so? How is it important for youth to be engaged in agriculture? What are some of the challenges that the agricultural sector is facing in Sierra Leone? Well, to answer all these questions in the studio, I have with me Sumah, who is the Executive Director of Foundation for Development. Tholoma, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening and thank you for having me.
Okay, I also have with me Joseph Fasuluku Mohammed Bayo, the CEO and founder of League of Bosses organization. Good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, dear. Good evening, listeners. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you very much. So we start with you, Solomon. What is your opinion about agriculture in Sierra Leone? Okay, so you have this organization called Foundation for Development, which is aiming at engaging youth into agriculture and see that Sierra Leone provide its foods and other things. How did you come about this organization?
Yes, Foundation for Development is a youth-led organization. It was established about 6 months ago by young people, including myself. The organization comes about with an ideology that we believe we as a country we must produce what we consume if we are to develop. we believe that it is because we have been focused on foreign goods. It's that because we have focused on foreign nations. That is why today we are poor. That is why today the country is moving nowhere. So that is why we said, okay, let us form something that will promote local content, will promote local production and manufacturing of things, because it does not make sense to us that I have just given you statistics of how many lands we have and then the energetic human resource, how fertile our land is, but yet we import food. To us, that does not make sense. We want to see how best we will engage Sierra Leoneans, we engage local people to see that they produce more food. To us, it does not make sense that we have tailors, we have carpenters in this country, but when we want furniture, we go to China, we go to other countries to import furniture. So to us, that does not make sense. It does not make sense to us that we have tailors, but we go to other countries to, manufacture our military uniforms, our police uniforms. That does not make sense to us. It does not make sense to us that every year people are graduating in our universities with engineering degrees, but yet when we want to construct our roads, when we want to construct our parliament, our state house, our stadia, we call other people to do it. To us, those things does not make sense. So we say, what? Let's come together and develop the human resource of our country. Let's put the people based on their skill sets so that they produce for the country, so the country can grow, so that we will avoid that of importation and then create wealth for ourselves. Recently, the president said we are spending over $200 million to import just rice. So I think if that is used within the country to produce rice, I think that's a great thing for us as a country, and then the economy will grow, as everybody is saying today, the ground right.
Okay, so over to you, Fasuluku. You also have an organization that is also looking at agriculture, and so what are your main aims and objectives?
Well, to start with, I will want to say we formed our organization based on the problems youth have been facing, and will face if we do not take drastic actions to solve those issues. And agriculture has been one of our major sectors, because our organization looks to cater for youth in education, youth in agriculture, and youth in entertainment. And basically, statistically, up to 70% of youth are involved in entertainment, up to 60% of our youth are involved in agriculture, likewise education. So we thought it fit if Sierra Leone is to transform from this stage of where it is right now to a stage that is better off from now, then we believe that we should undertake one of these three as follows. Agriculture to me has been a passion. I studied agriculture in the university, and my aspirations, my passion comes from biblical references. In the book of Genesis, God told mankind after Adam and Eve had messed up in the Garden of Eden, that a man shall labor, but the solution to that labor is that a man shall dig the ground and get what he or she has to eat. That simply tells you that in whatever platform, in whatever area you find yourself, agriculture is the solution to every problem. We need food to survive. We need food in order to sustain our human existence, because if we go into hunger for at least 2 weeks or 1 month, we all will go into extinction. So agriculture has been so paramount in every sector. If you don't eat, you don't do anything. You can go to court, you don't know.
Being someone who studied agriculture, I think it makes much impact and difference in society, because a lot of youth will look at it as a waste of time to study agriculture, just because they think agriculture is all about getting hands dirty. What can you say to some of those youth who think agriculture is a waste of time?
Okay, well, I would want to categorize agriculture into two different sectors. One of the sectors, if you're an illiterate farmer, then you're considered to be a laboring farmer. That's where you play with that. You cannot get your degree, or you cannot be illiterate in agriculture and they expect you to go and dig the ground. When you're illiterate, you're an educated farmer, you're considered to be a supervising farmer. You understand? You use your IQ, you use your head, to supervise and then give in guides instruction of how to manage the farm. So basically, if people have been brainwashed that agriculture is a dirty man's job, then that's a lie. Because if you can check from the Forbes records, the richest people on earth, most of them are people that are directly involved in agriculture. Because there's nothing, as I say, there's nothing so important than providing food for mankind. Of course, you know that. So for me, agriculture is one of the most important causes in the world. And medically, it is stated that if you eat food like your medicine, you won't eat medicine like your food. Do you know what that says? That if you eat well, you eat well-balanced diet, you don't get sick. So if you eat, if we have enough food, if we have well-balanced diet, you even don't need a doctor. You understand? And the food is available, the crime rate in the country can be controlled, because most of the people who steal or rob, they rob for food because they are hungry. So agriculture is one of the most paramount causes, and I see where the problem lies is that the educational sector are not giving proper orientation to the people of this country, telling them the importance of agriculture. Because for me, I could say nobody can tell me that agriculture is a bad thing. Nobody can tell me that agriculture is something that is irrelevant, because I know, of course, that agriculture is important. If so many people have that orientation, they're well orientated. These pupils from kindergarten are being schooled that, hey guys, if you work and you provide food for yourself, then you'll be able to sustain life.
So how can we get them to know what agriculture is? Because I think I'm learning right now, because when I was in JP, I chose physical health education over agriculture because I didn't want it to become a farmer. So how can we get to change that narrative of the mindset of young people, and especially J3 pupils who are in that capacity of choosing agriculture?
Okay, well, as an organization, a youth organization, we've done research and we've noticed that the pupils right from primary schools are excommunicated from agriculture. They're really totally deleted. Their syllabus, their course, the important subjects that they should be taught are not taught. Agriculture is not a priority. Agriculture is not a major subject right from primary schools. So you tend to see these pupils grow up loving mathematics, loving English language, loving literature, loving all the subjects, and thinking agriculture is a dirty man's job. So the mindset has to start from primary school. To me, people see mathematics as a very boring subject. Mathematics is not boring. A teacher can make you so confused and hate a subject based on the way he teaches that subject. So if we try to show the fun part of agriculture, we try to expose the best side of agriculture to these pupils from right in primary schools, then it can help facilitate development in agriculture. And if we get more youth into agriculture, then I can assure you the productivity, the yield of agriculture will increase in this country. And once the yield of agriculture is increased in the country, then the hunger level, the food security will be managed well.
Okay, so over to you, Tholoma. As an organization, what have you been doing, or how do you plan to make Sierra Leone feed itself?
Yes, I think this is a very big question, but that is exactly what we are trying to drive at. So what we have been doing is, first of all, is to see that we're established first across the country, because we believe you cannot just station in a particular place, especially in Freetown, and be talking about agriculture. Agriculture can only happen in the provinces. That is the only place we have a place now for agriculture. So one of the things we are doing now is to see that we have branches across the 16 districts of Sierra Leone. That we've gone far. We are now in 13 districts of Sierra Leone. That is one. Secondly, we are trying to see how best we try to make a mindset change. Like my brother was saying, we preach to people that the way we are going is the wrong way. let's have a change of mindset. Let's don't think that agriculture is meant for those who are failures in life. Agriculture is the one, developing other nations. So let's go back to agriculture and try to see how best we can develop Sierra Leone. Another thing we are doing is to see how best we support the farmers. We operate in two ways. We do the farming, then we also support farmers to do the farming. Because when we go to farmers in the villages, they tell us, okay, we want to farm, but we have series of problems. So those problems that they complain to us are the problems that we want to solve so that they go back to the farming. Some of those problems include lack of seeds. Most of them complain, almost all complain that we don't have seeds. That is why we are not going to the farm. Other people complain that we don't have finance, because to have seed you have to buy. So we try to solve that. So other people say we don't have tools. So we try to solve that. Other people say we don't have machines. Well, we don't have the capacity now to provide them with machines. But we are also engaging other people to see reason, especially the government, that provide these local people with machines so that they can go back to the farms and do large-scale farming. Because that subsistence farming cannot help that much. So we need now to go into somehow big farming that they call mechanized farming. So those are the things we are doing basically. That we, number one, we are establishing across the country. Number two, we are supporting farmers. Number three, we are preaching mindset. Let's go back to the farms. Agriculture is the way. Normally, I tell people that agriculture can solve over 70% of our problems, Sierra Leone and Africa as a whole. And then they ask me, what do you mean? How is that so? Sometimes I try to put it in the context of the Sustainable Development Goals. In the Sustainable Development Goals, we are saying by 2030, everyone should have enough food. Then what else in this world that can provide food without agriculture? It's only agriculture. By 2030, we are saying let's have let there be no poor person. What then can provide you money? In schools, they taught us that agriculture provides money, income. So what else that can provide money without agriculture? In the Sustainable Development Goals, they tell us, okay, by 2030, let's have quality education. Yes, Sierra Leone has launched a program on quality education, but how is that achieved if you don't eat food, like my brother was saying? So, for us who went to school in the villages, we know what that means. Some of us who come from poor families will know what that means, because if you go to the school, you don't eat food, you don't even listen to the teacher. Even if you listen, you can't understand, because you're thinking of how to have another meal, or you're even thinking if you go home, if you even have something to eat. So those are the problems. So that is why we're saying agriculture can solve over 70% of our problem. If you look at all the Sustainable Development Goals, agriculture plays a lot. Other goal says we should have jobs by 2030. Agriculture can provide a wide range of jobs. Like my brother said, he categorized agriculture into two. Jobs are there in agriculture. We can have agricultural finance accountants, we can have agricultural economists, agricultural business people. There are all the jobs you think of. Even now, you as a communicator, if you go into the agricultural field, you can have a communication angle in the agricultural field, because you have to sell the product, you have to advertise the product. So all of those can be found in the agricultural sector. But we think agriculture, just like my brother said, it's just a dirty job. We think we have to think that we will have to change that mindset. So that is one key thing we are trying to put into Sierra Leoneans, that agriculture really is a good thing, and we as people, especially young people, should go into agriculture.
And you said you support farmers.
Yeah.
How do you go about supporting them? Financially or whatsoever? Where did you get that, and how do you do that? Because I know it's not easy, thinking about how young the organization is.
Yes, the organization is a young one, but we have a motto that says time for action. We don't believe that we should just be talking now. We believe the problems of Sierra Leone and Africa as a whole has been discussed too much. We have to move now from that point where we just talk. So we believe it is time for action. So whatever little we have, instead of talking, we go back to the farms and implement. Yes, it is not funny because what we have as an organization is small. What we give to farmers is small. But what is good is the outcome of what we do. Because some of these farmers, like I can take an example of the first place where we started, Mapan village, where we have supported farmers to establish over 50 acres of cassava farm. We don't give them much, but for that motivation we gave them, right? We gave them motivation, we gave them food. Okay, if you are going to work, you don't have food. Okay, now here is food, eat and go back to the farm. They are not farming for us, they are farming for themselves. So whatever little thing we gave them, they will appreciate it. You understand? So before now, they are just doing maybe 1 acre. A whole community can do just 1 acre. But you know, to go to that extent of doing over 50 acres of land happened because of our support. We are also supporting them with tools. What we did, because one of our goals is to make sure is to promote local content. So what we did in the village is to see that we talk to the blacksmiths in the village. Okay, you prepare tools for these farmers. So we give something to the blacksmith, that is employment for him, because one of our goal is also job creation. So we said, okay, be preparing tools for these farmers. Instead of going back to China, to other places to bring tools, why can't us make use of our people who can manufacture tools here? So we, institute them. Okay, you prepare tools for the farmers, then we will give you something. So that is how we provide tools for the farmers. We'll also provide them with fertilizer. We'll provide them with finance to buy seeds. We also provide them with seeds that they cannot have. We buy seeds here in Freetown, then we'll take it to them so that, we can motivate them to do the farm. They are not doing it for us. They are doing it for themselves. But what is our aim? If they have enough food in the villages, then they will be able to support the cities. Every man who is seated here now will not be buying gari at 1,500 if they produce enough gari in the villages. So I think that is the missing link. We have now, instead of we as the urban communities, relying on the villages are relying on the cities. That is the problem. If we operate in that way, it is a problem. So we have to go back to the villages, empower them so that they will support the big cities, because you can't produce in the city. All what we do in the city is to consume. So we have to support back the villages so that they support back the cities. So that is what basically we are doing.
Okay, so as we've heard, Tholoma and his team at the Foundation for Development have been engaging in agricultural activities, helping other farmers, and boosting the agricultural sector in Sierra Leone to make Sierra Leone feed itself. So now let's see some of the works of the Foundation for Development. What have they been engaging in? Let's just have a video of what they've been doing.
Mr. Governor,
So the
you are food
recently they now one of the farms them na Mapan village who say with the support farmers them for grow cassava.
So presently would they see outside clear? What's they go on? Now the farm this or waiting?
Yes, this is now the farm also at map, and from what we don't get from the farmers them, they don't get a lot of people that don't come on board for CC and do this farm. And as you see, this is a very large farm where I go see over 30 acres of land where they don't grow cassava, we don't see new heaps them like. So we did today for come see how best would they support them for CC they expand more on the farming, because this is a foundation of for development that you aim. We they operate in two ways. One now for let us see how best would they support farmers, and another way now for see how best would they hire people for work now with various farms them. So this is a project where we they intend for go with across the country for CC. We develop farmers, we develop communities, and then we develop the nation as a whole. Because we don't see angry than the bokuna the country, we don't see unemployment than bokuna the country, we don't see poverty than bokuna the country. So foundation of for development, they try for see how best will they try for empower communities, how best they try for empower people them now the various villages for CC then grow what they eat, because we in a foundation of development believe say as Sierra Leoneans now we for grow what we dey eat. Now we for do other things, other materials the way we use. So now that's make within a mapang for see how best to they support them as today we don't count rest, we don't count some money for them for see how best to they ginger them up for do more of what they don't do so.
This one now no government, no extra person, no can support you now we no go to the other. You understand? And this dream, we salute. No young man will left again here for go and create. No woman will left again now for go and make up. Come on for it, man. No person and that to stand for. And else don't begin support you so. This village I tell you now so. This village, we will never see people there. Sometimes after 2-3 years, they also build house there now. Now it's exactly they come out. Because what is happen now? Now they make it happen. They go and
Well, okay, so not only we not get money because we already part this organization, we all now students them. We say well now, but we own small pocket money the way we get. So we say we decide say well low help una wedding at this village side. So because una the train pass, we say food in the city side.
Oh well, like this, the money than this.
Ausu ainda kabulo so asonga mobanta kama mbulo keresa sabu mwasi makama marsu an government an tbase party be keresa no pizza sonda ba shege ba ma go credit sabu mwasi ma ko business the chance time so si makama marsu
kane ya won song amba pato soko ko bulolo kilo subuloye an pass ne nu fino ta ko bulo kati mo shi tak soto mu na fa an ya ko bulo.
The brothers they come to we say let we join hand. They not say let we give them, they say let we all join hand for put agriculture first. Where at least at the end of the day when they don't even tell okay what they eat. So at least say now one of the idea that where Mrs. put hand under.
Transform this farm by doing agricultural practices. You know, we want for engage the youths, especially the women. You understand, eh? One for make Sierra Leone food sufficient. Yes, one put end to this poverty, for this hunger in this nation. So one for practice, one for engage into agricultural practices. Yes, like right now, when they go into the dries, when they try for engage the swamp, because we get a very vast swamp area. So one for engage the swamp, because I did the water there right now, so that's what one do right now. So we don't count on survey. One for cancel, we don't count for cancel the land, the bush. The bush is too big, we're not able to see the end.
People, we go through so many challenges, difficulties, and some tough situations that seem to be stumbling block to us achieving our goal. Oh yes, I know it's happening because I am a youth. But hey, in the midst of all those trials and others, we still have that young and vibrant brain that thinks about creativity, innovation, education, and entertainment. And for far too long, you have been looking for that platform to showcase all those things. Oh well, here is the platform that gives you the opportunity to voice out the problems that are affecting you in your society and to showcase your talents and innovative skills. Join the conversation on Youth Arena with Cecilia Alisizei every Thursday 5 to 6 p.m. on Freetown Television Network, Channel 35, as I bring you interesting stories and topics around youth world.
Welcome back. You're watching and listening to Youth Arena on Freetown Television Network, Channel 35, and on Freetown Radio 90.5 FM. And in the studio, we have been discussing on youth in agriculture. And we've been joined in the studio by another guest, Joseph S. Momo, the Secretary General for League of Bosses. Good evening and welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, and good evening, listeners.
Okay, so we're going to start with you because you're just coming. Now we've been talking about agriculture, and you have your organization that is also working towards agriculture. What are some of the activities that you've been engaging in?
You've heard by the name League of Bosses. Of course, it's a youth organization that is here to change the mindset of youth, that is impacting the youth that
hey, you can do it. You don't need to be old to do something. Of course, we want youth from a bossy side. You have a bossy mindset. If you want to do something, you can do it. So we just like create this platform so that we can help youth and change their mindset from failure to success. And of course, we are focusing on 3 areas, of course: agriculture, education, and entertainment. But for now, we've been established the organization 2 years back. We have been focusing on entertainment for the past 2 years. So in agriculture, we haven't done much yet. Of course, the CEO is an agriculturist, and we have that in mind too, to establish in agriculture. But for now, it's just entertainment. And this Vision 2020, we are focusing now on education. Of course, we are on our drug-free campaign.
So in entertainment, what have you been doing?
In entertainment, of course, starting from the Big Sister Salon, we sent Henrietta Lemon, who came out, I think, in the 3rd level of the Big Sister Salon. And of course, the Housemaid Salon, we sent King Mon, who went on the final stage, and she came out. And of course, we have sent people for pageantry. Of course, Miss Salon, this is 2019. We sent Christiana Sierra. She was fortunate to become the first runners up. And of course, Miss Art, Coco, he wants it. And that is our achievement in entertainment for now. And of course, we are also into movie. We sponsor people because we don't want to, like, you just need to be educated before we help you. We know that 30 years back, China was not like how it is now. We just had that mindset that in whatever area you are, you can help boost our nation. So we just don't want to focus on education. We establish on entertainment also, because some of our youth are very much talented, but they are not educated. They just need a little hand to showcase their talent. Okay. So that's what we have been doing for the past 2 years.
So over to you, Tholoma. What are some of the challenges that you have been facing as an organization to get to meet to everything that you are aiming at?
Yes, in Sierra Leone, there are so many challenges people face when you want to start or do something. It's not like other countries where you see there are a lot of opportunities. Here, the opportunities are really not available. So one of the greatest problems we are facing is lack of finance or lack of support from other NGOs, from the government. In fact, we are finding it even very difficult to penetrate some of them. So that is a very big challenge, and we are calling on any NGO, we are calling on the government to see reason to come and to allow us partner with them to find a way of supporting this movement, because this is a big one. It's just about 5-6 months old. We are almost everywhere across the country, so we have a very big mindset. We have a mindset that really, if it is tapped in, then we can solve the problems of Sierra Leone. So that is just one. Another problem we are facing is the lack of expertise. We are just young people who want to see that Sierra Leone develops. We are just young people who want to see Sierra Leone move from one stage to another, but we don't have the expertise, and those who have the expertise are not coming to our aid. Most of them think we should give them money before they do something. Yes, indeed, we should give them money, but as a start, why can't us come together and try to redeem our country? Why can't you have something to offer to your country? You've done some things. We just many people, we are just graduated from the universities. You know, those people are sitting down. They are not doing anything. You have learned something. Why can't you come and implement what you've learned? You are sitting, you said, because somebody is not paying you. So come so that we can, put our ideas together and forward this nation. We don't have money in this country, so don't think somebody else will give you 50 million, 100 million just when you're from the university. So that is a problem. We don't have the expertise, and people are not coming to our aid. But that is because we don't have the finance, and people are not supporting our move. We have tried several times to see that we get penetration to the agri ministry. It is proving futile. So all of those things are problems. But key is that we don't have the resources. People are really taking the message anywhere we go across the country. farmers are saying, yes, this is what we want to do. Yes, you have brilliant ideas, but nobody is supporting us. So this is a problem, and we are calling on people to really support our movement.
Okay, so this is 2020. What is your agenda? What have you put in place in 2020 to do that?
For 2020, we have planned to establish 4,000 acres of farmland. We want to see that as an organization, we have our own farm, wherein if we have our own farm, it can be easy for us to support other people, because we can't just be buying seeds to support people. But if we also have our own farm, we can produce from the farm, then sponsor other people, give them seeds from our seed bank. So that is one. Another is we want to see that we support farmers as well to do their own bit. Whatever whatever they're doing, we want to see that we support them. That is also about 2,000 acres. That is also our plan, to support farmers for about 2,000 acres. Then we also plan to do vegetables in this 2020. We also plan to do poultry, because the poultry we are planning to do is not the one that will contain fowls from Europe or other places. We want to do our own local breed, because we have one of our goals, as I said earlier, is to see that we promote local content. We have so much dependent on other people. We have so much dependent on what comes from other places. So we want to see how best we can promote our own local content. So our poultry is going to be purely that of the Sierra Leonean fowls, so that at least our fowls will not go into extinction, so that we can produce them here. And then, in fact, our fowls have better prices than the ones that are coming. So if really as Sierra Leoneans we embark on that, we embark on the animal husbandry and other things, I think that would be nice. So that is basically what we are planning, to establish 4,000 acres, support farmers with 2,000, and we'll move forward.
Okay. So over to you, Joseph. Tell us what the League of Bosses is doing in the educational sector.
And of course, the League of Bosses, I think the motive and the vision of the President, His Excellency the President Julius Maada, he's focusing on education, and it is based on that foundation we are building. Because you can't have a free education for people that are into drugs. And of course, quite recently you've observed we have teenagers that are going into drugs, our youth that are just pumping into drugs this much, and you can't have those youth educated if they are so into it. So we as an organization, we thought it fit that in our vision 2020 we should incorporate education. Having done much in entertainment, we should now join the government to help push the free and quality education. And of course, the First Lady's vision also on answer for our girls. Of course, we want to see how best stopping those youth from taking drugs, because you haven't taken drugs, of course you take alcohol, and of course take drugs, you'll be high and tipsy. The first thing that comes to your mind is to go into girls. So that we want to see how best we can reduce that. And of course, quite recently you've heard of our baby diaper or pampers water that is on the rampage. If you have a common sense of reasoning, a rat at home will never eat a baby diaper, because it has that conscience that if I eat this stuff, I will die. I've never seen a baby diaper being eaten by a rat. So why us human can't realize that this is not good for us? So this is the message we are taking to the schools. Of course, we've just started with schools. Of course, we've been to Ahmadiyya Muslim Secondary School, Convent, the International Limited, and of course Albert Academy. And quite recently we went to what's the school? Model. We went to Model also. 5 schools for now, and we have more to go. And we are focusing again. Our next plan for this Say No to the Drug Abuse will be taken to the tertiary level, because this thing, they build it from school days, peer group influence, and when they go to university, it's graduated, they go into cultism. That's where they establish now to a huge something. So we are really thinking of taking it to the tertiary level. And also,
okay, Joseph, one would say, speaking of drug abuse, most of these youth engaging in drug abuse actually don't know the implications of it. To them, according to an interview done with FTN when this diapers thing came up, they said it was to make them feel high when they have nothing to do, and when they take that, they just go to sleep without causing any problem. And so they don't know the health implications and other implications of it. What are you doing to sensitize them? And most of them are not school-going kids. Most of them are people who claim to be desperate youths with no jobs. So what are you doing as an organization to make sure that they have the knowledge about the implications, to sensitize them about it?
Okay, as I told you, we want to focus in education for now. Of course, these big guys you see in the ghettos that are taking this stuff, they started all the way from school. So we want to attack right from the school stage. We take it to tertiary, and we can come to the ghettos now. That's how we do it, and we are trying to do it sustainably. We're just going out there preaching the message, and we leave them to be on their own. It has to be a daily reminder. So that's why we are making a contingency plan for like having a variety show, which we have titled Freetown School Connect. We're going to start with the first phase for Freetown and see how it goes. You know, back in our fathers' days, they used to have variety shows wherein you come to school on the last Saturday in a month. You come showcase your talent, because they get contact to these drugs when they go to clubs. And when they are off from school, they don't do it at school, they don't do it at home. Because from interview when we go to their schools, they normally tell us, we don't want to take drugs now. So we know they get contact with these stuffs when they go to club and when they are out of their homes. So we just want to make that kind of entertaining something again and take them back to school. So when you are there busy, you can't be thinking of taking a baby diaper. And them taking baby diaper or tramadol, they call it all done boss. They say they get high, but to me you reduce your height, because when you take it you don't stand, you go and sleep, and you don't have a thought for tomorrow. So that's not helping our country. And if we are to make a brighter future for our country, Mama Salon, it has to start now and not tomorrow. They say the success of tomorrow can be determined by the hard work of today. So it's based on that we are encouraging our younger ones and of course the youth of this nation, because they are our future leaders, to get a better Mama Salon. Of course, we all will love to be here.
So quickly before we wrap up the program, what's your final word? What are you expecting? And just wrap up the program with your final say about your sensitization, which is ongoing.
Okay. Our little challenge we have been having is finance. Of course, this all I've outlined to you, what we have done and what we are currently doing, is wholly and solely done by us, and we have no external sponsorship or except the Sierra Class Center at Moriton Junction. Mr. Charlton Cole, the CEO, he has told us he has been giving us transportation to anywhere we are going to. I think that's the sponsorship we have for now. The challenge we're now having here is a sponsor, but we are working towards it because we can't stop, because we have our country at heart and we know the vision of the president is so good. Of course, educating your nation is a very good thing, so we want to help them and push it, because we can't sit back and wait and say, oh, it's the responsibility of our government to do this and do that. It's high time we stop thinking like that. Have that bossy mindset, as our organization is been tied to League of Boss. Have that bossy mindset that we don't need to wait for someone to come help us. Let us help ourselves and push our country before. So my last word will be, let's come together. Here is a better place. You will never know unless you travel. Let's build our country to make it a better place for us.
Okay, finally, Tholoma, now tell us your final words, what your organization is expecting as you're calling on the government. Just tell us your final words about why do you think youth should engage in this agriculture that you're preaching, and to make them change the narrative that agriculture is not all about getting hands dirty.
Yes, first of all, I would say let us change our mindset, just as you said, that agriculture is not for a dirty person. It is better that you get dirty and have something to eat than you're clean but you don't have something to eat. So I think we should go back to the farms. Let us change our minds. Then let the change of mind also start from the up ladder. That is the government, and then it comes down to the people. Let the government change its mindset. Let the government think that Sierra Leone can do it. Sierra Leone can really feed itself. Let the government stop spending the $200 million the president claimed that he is using to import rice, to use it in Sierra Leone so that we can, have jobs. Like my brother is saying about those drinking the pampas water, right? These people, as you claimed, they said they don't have jobs. That is why they are doing it. So we have a solution. Let's go back to the farms and then, provide those people jobs, provide everybody jobs. There are over 800,000 people waiting on the queue for jobs. Then we just had is it 3,000 people who just graduated. So that's just increasing the number. So to create jobs for those people, to create wealth for those people, to create food, to minimize the hardships in this country, we have to go back to the agricultural sector so that we can move forward. So we are Foundation for Development. If you want to have a contact with us, we are at 48 Sierra Stevens Street in Freetown. We are also in different offices across the country. So come and have a word with us so that you can understand better, or you can call us on 088 505912 030 329415, or you can also click on our Facebook page, Foundation for Development. You can have a lot of information on what we are doing and all that, so that you can find a way of how to support us as an organization, so that all of us can come together and push this country move forward, because it is our civic responsibility to save Sierra Leone from sinking.
Okay, thank you very much, guys, for being with us in the studio. And to you viewers, you've been watching and listening to Youth Arena on Freetown Television Network, channel 35, and on Freetown Radio 90.5 FM. And if you want to watch any of our programs on Youth Arena, you can go into FTN News on Facebook, or you go to our YouTube channel. Just type Youth Arena with Cecilia Alicisse and type any of our topics that we discuss. You'd see it coming up. And join us every Thursday 5 to 6 p.m. as we bring you different topics and interesting stories around youth world. I have been your host, Cecilia Alicisse, and plenty thanks to our studio people and the producer of this program, Crispin, commonly known as Raptab, and to the control person, Ebenezer. Thank you very much for being with us in the program. I am Cecilia Alicisse, saying goodbye for now.
As young people, we go through so many challenges, difficulties, and some tough situations that seem to be stumbling block to us achieving our goal. Oh yes, I know it's happening because I am a youth. But hey, in the midst of all those trials and others, we still have that young and vibrant brain that thinks about creativity, innovation, education, and entertainment. And for far too long, you have been looking for that platform to showcase all those things. Oh well, here is a platform that gives you the opportunity to voice out the problems that are affecting you in your society and to showcase your talents and innovative skills. Join the conversation on Youth Arena with Cecilia Alicisse every Thursday 5 to 6 p.m. on Freetown Television Network, channel 35, as I bring you interesting stories and topics around youth world. As young people, we go through so many challenges, difficulties, and some tough situations that seem to be stumbling block to us achieving our goal. Oh yes, I know it's happening because I am a youth. But hey, in the midst of all those trials and others, we still have that young and vibrant brain that thinks about creativity, innovation, education, and entertainment. And for far too long, you have been looking for that platform to showcase all those things. Oh well, here is the platform that gives you the opportunity to voice out the problems that are affecting you in your society and to showcase your talents and innovative skills. Join the conversation on Youth Arena with Cecilia Alicisse every Thursday 5 to 6 p.m. on Freetown Television Network, channel 35, as I bring you interesting stories and topics around youth world.